Okay, so here we are in the room right off the kitchen, which is your entrance to your little in-law setup. So in this room, I feel like this really needs to be shown as like a giant pantry. So when folks walk in from the kitchen, they'll open the door, see shelves, and be like, whoa, look at all this space we have. Look what we could do in here. Now, obviously, it needs finishing. It needs painting. The switch plates added. I see you've got some shelving there. You certainly don't need to shelve all the way up. Just one or two, enough to see what you could do here. The fan either probably needs more blades, or maybe it probably would just be easier to replace. And some painting, of course. So in here, you can leave it without the doors, although if you have doors somewhere in storage, I would say you should put them up. And this way folks can be able to see the true separation of an in-law setup versus the main home. So in here, in the laundry room, this is great. You've got all these cabinets. Of course, the ceiling does need to be painted, and the popcorn needs to be touched up. And some type of panel added to kind of hide that in the back of the washer dryer here. Some baseboards on the bottom, painting, etc. Now over here in this room, you've got a really great start to this room here. I'm wondering across the ceiling if you were to get, and a handyman would know better, but even some crown molding, like a thick crown molding across the top could hide that. Otherwise, maybe even like a 2x6 or something, and you could just consider that to be molding across the top. Might be an easy and cheap solution to kind of hide the top there and the wiring across over there. And then it just really needs paint and some baseboards finished up. This door here, you might be able to just fill that in with some spackle putty paste, patch it up, paint it, and we're good to go. And in here, again, I would also suggest that it be painted and the ceiling finished off here. Now, when I get back home in front of my computer, I am going to get you a price to sell it exactly as is, and then another price if you're to do all these things, how much extra you're going to get out of it, so you can kind of figure out if it's worth it to do the repairs, if you just want to be done with it. So in this closet here, again, just some finishing work, either some molding around the top there, and then simply a piece of sheetrock to cover that up, and some paint. And then in the bathroom here, again, just paint, the ceiling patched and repaired, and light pushed back up in there, and then everything else is okay. And right along here, maybe just some caulking or a piece of trim would cover that up and make it look like it's finished. Oh, I also noticed on the outside here, it just needs to be painted right there where the trim is, the same color as the outside. Mostly, this house just really needs some paint, and this is great right here. The vanity, the mirror, you can work with that. The shelving can even stay. I'd bring in a couple little fake plants and candles and stick it on the shelves, and then I'd probably bring in some towels and hang them here when when all the repairs are done, so it looks really finished and staged and cute. Okay, here in the kitchen, of course, you just need some replacement parts here below the lighting, and I would recommend you remove the wallpaper in here and just paint it a nice neutral color. If you really wanted to go overboard or crazy, this is an option. They do make a countertop paint, and I've done it in a rental house that I have. And what I did was, you put it on with a very fine roller, and you can paint the countertops any color you want. I did mine in gray. And it makes them look like new. It lasts for a couple years, but it just needs to last long enough till we find a buyer. And then if we can get a little piece right there, that would be great. Although maybe you have one laying around, it might be tough to match. If not, we'll have to come up with another solution for that. Now here in the living room, this is great. The beam ceiling is fabulous. The light is even great. This room really doesn't need much. I know outside here you need some work with the screens, and two doors need need adjusting there in the porch. Okay, so I am right here in the doorway of heading into the guest wing, and right over there at the ceiling, some of the taping has come apart, so that should probably be corrected. These are things that when a buyer walks through, they'll notice, and when a buyer deducts the price off that, you and I know it might be $100 to get that to be fixed. In a buyer's mind, they're going to start subtracting thousands off of little things like that. So of course you need the globe on the fan, and that just needs to be hooked back up there. Again, just some paint really. And then in this bedroom, the same thing with the taping right along the edge there, and you're missing a little bit of popcorn there as well. If you have doors for this right here, I would suggest you put them back on. If not, if you don't have doors for this, then you can let that go. It's not going to be a deal killer that there's no doors there, and that would be a way to save some money. You do need baseboards along the bottom here. And heading over into the other room, just painting in here really, and baseboards along the bottom again. The doors put back on, and then this door would need to be painted as well. Okay, I'm here in the guest bath, and it looks like someone has just started doing some work in here, and probably your wife, I'm guessing, and did not have a chance to fix all this. So really painting here, the mirror put back over here. You can leave that lighting. I'm not sure if you had planned to get another light. And I'm guessing that this was how you're gonna leave the backsplash here to around the tub surround, which is fine. I'm guessing right here, you probably had a little towel rack. If that's still around, you could put that back up, and of course get the paint. And no trim needed in here. You have tile all around, I'm seeing. Okay, right here in the front